All right, well then let's get started. Thank you very much for that information, Sadaka.
Okay.
All right, well, just real quickly, just a quick introduction. Real quickly, my name is Anthony. I work here at Orange County Realtors. If you were here in our first class, welcome back. If you are just now joining us for the very first time, I am the Orange County Realtors Senior Technology Trainer. I've been here now for a little over 18 years, started off in the MLS department, guaranteed I'll speak to you regarding rules, regulations, violations, all that fun stuff. So what I'm involved with is the outreach. The outreach program is basically designed to give you training on all your tools and your products. So I train on MLS, how to run searches, modify listings, create CMAs. I also train on zip forms. So how to put together your transactions electronically, how to digitally sign those transactions, and so much more. And of course, I love training on tech. I love showing agents how they can utilize their technology tools to be able to better their real estate career. Now, today's class is all about the game plan for your social media marketing. If you were here in our first class, which was just a little bit ago, we went over how to set up your YouTube and your Facebook business page correctly to be DRE compliant and give you kind of ideas of why it's important to have some sort of social media presence. Now, today's class is all going to be about how to make that social media marketing game plan come to fruition. And what we mean by that, or what I mean by that, is what is your strategy for developing your social media? You got to think of social media and your social media marketing like playing chess, right? You need to have a strategy, because without one, you can't expect to win at chess or any game, let alone be successful in any business. Okay, so we got to come up with some sort of strategy. Now, there's really essentially three types of strategies that you guys can focus on. Okay, three different possible strategies to this game plan. Strategy number one is that in your social media marketing, all you're going to do is talk about real estate related topics that you as a real estate agent are an expert on. Okay, that's all you do. That's all you post. Now, strategy number two is something non-real estate related that actually drives you as an individual passionately. Okay, so you don't want to talk about real estate. You don't need to talk about real estate. You just talk about the things that you're passionate about and most passionate about. Now, strategy number three is something that is a mix of both one and two. Something that's real estate related that you're an expert on, as well as non-real estate related topics that passionately drive you and motivate you. So out of these three strategies, you should ask yourself, which one would you like? So Sadaka, Loanne, Paul, Thomas, everybody else, you have to ask yourself, out of these three strategies, which best suits you? So just add a quick survey, and you guys can unmute yourselves for this. Which one do you think you would like to try?
Actually, I'm already doing number three.
Good. Number three. So Sadaka has already said that number three is something that she's already doing. Awesome. Loanne, Paul, Thomas. And again, you guys can unmute yourself. Just click on the little microphone. And let's see. Paul says me as well, but rather inconsistently. There we go. Not a problem. So we can do that. So we can get you to be a little bit more consistent. Okay. But yes, ideally you want a mixture of the two. You want to show people that you are passionate about things that aren't, or that are outside the real estate realm. And then you want to talk about things that you are a full expert on in your real estate industry, because some of you here today, regardless of how long you've been in the business, some of you less than 6 months, some of you more than a few years, you have experiences. So those are your three possible strategies. Now, no matter what, when it comes to social media marketing, whether it's video, whether it's Facebook posting, Twitter posting, LinkedIn posting, whatever, you need to be yourself. You need to be creative and fun and open to engaging with people. And of course, we need to actually be a friend and a source of data or a source of information. Okay, this is who you are. This is what you need to be. You need to allow people to see that. Okay. Now, being yourself, this is how relationships are built. Okay. They're built on trust and vulnerability, because a friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself. And I know a lot of people here today find that hard to be, right? To be trusting and vulnerable. And of course, one of the things is when we are vulnerable with people, we're opening ourselves up, right? And that's hard for some people, but it's not hard for others. Now, funny enough, when you go, well, geez, well, how does this relate to real estate? Well, crazy enough, people buy from people that they actually trust, right? Like, anybody here just buy a car just on a whim? Like, you just took the salesperson at the car shop or the salesperson at the clothing store just at face value?
No, I usually research in advance.
You kind of research, you want to talk to them, right? You want to feel that they've got your best interest, right? Not just, I'm looking for a sale. So we've got to think about this when it comes to social media, that we've got to have that same kind of attitude, right? So basically your online persona, or the online person that you are trying to be, is that actually the person that you are in real life. Okay. Because when someone meets you, if you're not the person that they met online, they're going to feel that you lied to them, and that destroys whatever trust and vulnerability that they've shared with you. So this is where we need to make sure that whoever we are online, that is the actual person that we are in real life. Now, does this mean that you have to be fully open and tell them everything about you? Not necessarily. You guys have a right to still keep things private and keep some things private, right? No one wants to, it's okay to say, well, every once in a while, I do like to give myself a good cry to release my stress, right? Who doesn't like to do that? But you don't have to tell somebody, you know what? I take 10 minutes out of every day, sit in the corner and cry myself, to being okay, right? Not everybody needs to know that, especially online. But it's okay to allow some of that vulnerability, to allow that person that you are, to allow people to want to become close to you. And of course, as they begin to trust you, that's going to grow. Now, let's see here. Thomas asked, if you talk about financial related topics, how is it best to disclose that it's not a financial advice? Tell them, hey, I'm not trying to give you financial advice, but you may want to seek an expert. But based on my experience, this is what I've done. You can say something like that. You're telling, you can still now say, well, this is what works for me, but it may not work for everybody. Maybe you need to do your own research, or, hey, here are some tools that may help you be able to become more financially sound, and try them out. Does that help, Thomas? Good. And that just shows that you're totally upfront and going, hey, I know what my limitations are. Now, creative and fun and engaging, you got to think of unique, fun ways to communicate with people. And, not everybody's, when we're talking about being online, a lot of people get very rigid, because sometimes, especially some of us older people, have a problem trying to engage because there's no feedback from the engagement that we're trying to instill. So we've got to think of other unique ways to show how fun we are by coming up with different ways. Maybe Sadaka, I'm assuming you probably have a great personality and you like to laugh a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you let people know some of your humor? Like, how would you describe your humor to somebody that you're meeting online?
As a matter of fact, I don't think I am conveying my humor very well online. I don't know why. I mean, it's in smaller groups I do, but on Facebook and Instagram, I'm not very good at humor, which
Okay.
I should be.
You can be, you know, sometimes maybe it takes a little practice. Are you doing, you know, like putting up little funny pictures? Do you crack jokes? You know, do you do things like that?
No,
No?
no.
Well,
All my postings have to do, like, if it's, you know, personal or non real estate related, are nature, animals,
okay.
flowers, you know, things like that.
Okay.
And
Well,
cooking.
cooking, awesome. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like to eat? Do you have fun with some of the food?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, see, there you go. That shows some of your sense of humor, right? Maybe even the way you deliver that message, right? Remember, the way that we're communicating with people is how we're also going to be building that rapport with the person, right? Again, not everybody will gravitate to our sense of humor. Not everybody gravitates to the way we communicate. Some of us, like myself, is very point, shoot, and aim, right? I'm very blunt when it comes to certain things. And other things, I try to handle things with kid gloves, right? It's just the way and the topic that you're talking about. Maybe you create a picture or something like that that shows that sense of humor with just a couple of words on it, right? You use those picture editors or video editors and things like that.
Okay, maybe I can ask you this question. I belong to several groups on Facebook other than my own groups. So if I'm posting something in one group, it doesn't go to the other groups. It does go from my page to
Okay.
my groups, I mean, groups that I have established, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding it really tough posting everything, you know, at every individual group. I mean, they're different in their, you know, subject also. So
Well,
I'm,
and that's the thing. Each group each party that you're in has a
yeah,
little bit different dynamic. So you have to be flexible in that. And you're going to have to gauge, sorry, I thought that I had my phone on do not disturb. You're going to have to gauge that party basically on other people's sense of humor. And this is where you, as the communicator of your ideas, of your points of view, this is where you'll need to be flexible and yet still creative. You can still let that funny side come out, but maybe one group's got more sarcastic people. Other groups might have people that have a very dry sense of humor. So, you know, the way you might tell a joke will be different in both groups, right? Or the way you communicate that. But that's where that flexibility comes in. It's no different than when you're negotiating a contract with another agent. Some agents are very easygoing when you're talking to them. Other agents are very rigid and hard to talk to, right? So
yeah,
it's no different. Face-to-face communication is no different than online communication. That's kind of where I was trying to go with that.
I see.
All right. So now, real quickly, just so you know, a friend gives great information, right? People always ask their trusted friends for advice and guidance in making super big decisions. Now, I know Kate and Loanne and you, Sadaka, probably all, you know, before dating your significant other, brought your significant other in front of your friends, right? Why? Because you
Yes,
valued their opinion. You wanted to get their impressions, right? Why is that? Because you trusted their opinion to say, this is a good person to, you know, you guys are a great match, or I like them, or I don't like them, or what have you, right? Or maybe, hey, mom, dad, I need your advice before I buy a car. Well, think about it. Buying a home or even selling a home That's a super big decision. They just normally can't ask their friends who don't know the business and don't know real estate for that advice. Like, should I buy? Should I sell? Should I wait? What should I do? So they need to find people that they trust and feel comfortable with to get that type of advice. So we need to think that when we're communicating with people, not just as friends, as family, as colleagues, we're also somebody here open enough to be totally open and honest. Like, geez, Loanne gives me a call and says, you know what, I'm thinking about buying or selling a home, or maybe she writes to me online. I ask her a few questions. What do you have in your savings? What's your FICO score? And maybe she tells me and I go, you know what, maybe it's not a good time to buy right now. Maybe it's not a good time to sell. You know, she's going to hopefully, based on our rapport, will understand that. Now, she may ask me other questions. Well, why do you think this? Why do you think that? And then I give her my opinion. But at least that way, when I'm giving her this advice, she's going to take it under advisement because I'm a person that she knows, trusts, and understands. And that's when we think about our strategies about using that mixture of both real estate and things that drive us passionately, because we are now connecting with people who want to know about our real estate industry, as well as letting people get to know us as a human being, because that's exactly what we are. We're not the big tech companies that are standoffish and nobody knows because, geez, they're not boots on the ground understanding things. I'm right here as an individual person and with individual needs just like you, and I'm here to help you. So ask me advice. Now, there are things to talk about when it comes to social media, right? Whether it's video, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Everybody wants to know about the market. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a bad time to sell? What the market is like. You guys have access to all this plethora of information from CAR, NAR, Orange County Realtors, your personal experiences dealing with clients in today's climate. What's the market like? What are the conditions? Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? Are home prices going up to the point where housing affordability is an issue? Are home prices about to drop? Interest rates, taxes, everything. Community. What's going on in the community? What are the special events? Or even more importantly, why is it a good place to live? Why is it not a good place to live? Or where? So, oh, and I forgot to unmute Kate here. Let me ask. I'll unmute Kate as well so she can participate. That's something that a lot of people are missing. They don't understand the community because very few agents ever talk about why is it a good place to live in Irvine? Why is it a bad place to live in Irvine? What are some of the things going on in Irvine for people and that are currently living there not aware of, that should be aware of? Obviously, we can talk about current events, today's weather. I know Alexa told me it wasn't going to rain today, but you know what? It's been misting all day long here in Mission Viejo. She never told me that it was going to do that. She just said it was going to be mostly cloudy today. Maybe people need to understand those current events. What's COVID? What are the COVID stipulations like in your city? Are restaurants open? Are restaurants closed? Are businesses suffering? Or are they starting to come back?
Anthony, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
These days, consumers know about the housing market better than real estate agents. I mean,
You think?
To me, it sounds like a waste of time. Here is the market. Home prices are going down.
Okay.
Can we do a CMA for you? They already know.
Okay.
Because
well, if that's not what you want to talk about, Sadaka, then I'm not going to fight you on that. But where are they getting that information from?
Well, they get on Zillow, they get on Redfin. They have quite a bit of resources.
They do. Did you know that Zillow's off by 20 to 40% in their estimations?
Is it still like that since they
yeah.
became a regular broker?
Yeah. So if Zillow says your home's worth $1 million plus or minus 20%, that's a $400,000 gap in your home value. Do you want to trust that source of information with a $400,000 discrepancy on your largest owned asset? Or should I listen to somebody like you who actually has access to the most accurate information within the MLS at all times to be able to communicate that to me as a potential buyer or seller? Whereby you can actually show me what actual true values are of what's actually going on when it comes to listing a home, how fast they're actually getting to escrow for at what list price, and of course, what they're actually closing escrow for.
Well, I agree with you. That's definitely true, but
So in
consumers
those
don't know
arguments where, yes, clients today and consumers today like to think that they know it better than you, and most of them don't even research how inaccurate those numbers can be and are. They just kind of go with, well, geez, I saw it on the internet, but I've done no extra research to actually find out what is, actually happening, right? This is why they should listen to you. This is why they should trust you, because when you're talking about the market, hey, per the MLS, this is what's actually going on. The homes in the area are being listed at around, and then you tell them. And if you need an actual home value, give me a call, because each and every home is a little bit different. Each and every home has things that are different from everybody else's home in the neighborhood. And now we can discuss actual values, right? And usually also, if they're looking at the newspaper, the real estate section that comes out once a week, that real estate section is usually anywhere from 6 to 9 months behind the current market. So if they're going to that as a source,
well, most buyers want to know where they can get a good loan or down payment.
Each lender is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's something of value to them because it's not readily available to them.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can talk about things like that. That's part of the market, right? Interest rates and things like that are all going to affect that market. So yes, that is true. But again, you are going to be, you want to be the central hub or source of that data that you're talking about. You want to be, remember how I was saying before in our first class, in the groups, you are the center of that party. Well, you're going to be the center of this information. You want to be a trusted, valued source of information, right? Now, by the way, besides real estate, the current market, the community, the current events in the neighborhood, also talk about the things that interest you, because again, you are a human being. So Sadaka, you said you like cooking, you like animals. Some of us like sports, like football, basketball, baseball, whatever other articles that interest you that you find. And of course, talk about yourself a little bit. Hey, today I decided to go walking down the street. It was a beautiful day to go walking here in Mission Viejo. There's a beautiful walking trail or hiking trail just down the way around Mission Viejo Lake, which is a great 3-mile walk. So if you were thinking about, losing some weight, love to see you around there if you live in the Mission Viejo area. Hey, I've talked about myself, some of my passions. Now, there are also things to not talk about, things to avoid talking about. Trivial things. Like I just woke up and walked the dog. Or I went to the bathroom and I washed my hands and then I had breakfast, right? I've seen posts like that. Polarizing topics. 2 major polarizing topics that you definitely want to avoid: politics and religion, right? Unfortunately, nowadays, especially with social media, and I can see it on my personal YouTube or my personal Facebook page, got a lot of friends and family that just spew out crazy stuff about politics and religion, right? I respect them. I can understand that, but do I want to get myself involved in those discussions? Probably not. Why? If anything, with the 2016 election to current politics and religion topics, that alienates at least 50% of your business. Anybody here want to alienate 50% of your business?
No
No.
way.
Right? We have to come back to old school and say, these are not nice things to talk about at the dinner table. This is where in my first class, I talked about using a code of conduct, what you will and will not tolerate in your discussion groups, right? What you will and will not tolerate with somebody in their comments. If somebody wants to bring things back to politics or bring things back to religion, hey, you can totally say, I see your standpoint, but this is not the portal for this discussion. If you want, we can discuss this offline. What you don't want to do, because these are heated topics, and if you notice, people get really passionate very quickly over these two types of topics. Right? Now, one thing that we have to maintain is that what? Error of control. Or error of control. Right? If all of a sudden we got into a heated discussion where we're arguing back with people, unfortunately online, everybody else sees it. And what's their impressions that we are now giving when we get involved in those arguments and we don't know how to stop it? If we're handling ourselves with this, how are we going to handle ourselves in a transaction? Right? Anybody ever been in a heated transaction before?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what's our job? We try to maintain that level, cool head of professionalism to not only treat the other agent on the other side of the transaction with respect, but their clients and our clients. It's already tough enough to keep our clients cool. We need to keep ours as well. Now, obviously, we also don't want to be rude or vulgar or obnoxious, right? Because that says a lot about our personality. Try to avoid criticizing other people or being judgmental, right? Especially when people are trying to be vulnerable with you, right? If they're trying to be open and honest and vulnerable, the moment you critique them or judge them, that's when they shy away. And of course, we don't want to sell things in the wrong venue, like on your personal page. That's why the business page was invented, to do our business on the business page. Now, how is your message going to stand out, or what is your message standing out as? You have to make your message stand out. Don't be afraid to stand out in the crowd. So Paul, Thomas, Kate, Luann, are you guys introverts or extroverts? Sadaka, I'm already assuming you're an extrovert, right?
Yes.
All right. Kate says that she's an introvert. This is where we need to come out of our shells a little bit. We need to make our messages stand out so that people see us. And I know that this, for introverts, this is a little bit hard because you guys, not even in a party, want to stand out, right? But remember, we're also in this for a business. And if our business needs to thrive and it needs to grow, we've got to do things outside of our comfort level just a bit, even just for a little bit, to come out for it to be seen. Now, how do we do that? Think of different ways of delivering your messages.
Do you mean online how we do it, or in our regular life?
Well, in your regular lives, you want to definitely do that. But right now, we're just strictly talking about online.
Okay, then it's video.
Well, video can be, but not all in all cases. Here are some examples of some posts from different agents. So These are all pulled from various other agents' social media platforms. Okay. Now, looking at these messages, they look very simple and short to the point, right? Like here, this one I like a lot. Her name's Marky Lemons Ryle, Ryhal. Now, she's a real estate agent out of Chicago. She's actually a speaker, and her big thing is all about Instagram. She is an Instagram guru. I would say if you ever get a chance to look her up, either on Instagram or YouTube, you'll be really impressed with her. She even does podcasting. But I like this post that she posted on Facebook. It was really sweet, to the point, and very honest. She's really feeling thankful. 4 times in this life, 2 times in the year. She talked about being referenced in the magazine. So she talked a little bit about herself, you know, as a real estate agent, about how she's felt being honored by this entity. Now, here's another one. Maybe you do an infographic, rent versus buying, a simple 2-column pros of renting and pros of buying. Doesn't have to be overly elaborate. A very nice, simple image that you can put on Instagram, put on Facebook. The whole point is to generate views and comments. Here's another one. Window cleaning 101. 1 part vinegar, 1 part hot water equals a streak-free natural cleaning product. You don't have to buy Clorox. You don't have to buy Windex. Everybody's got vinegar in the house. Sadaka, I know you said you like to cook. I'm assuming you probably have vinegar, right?
Yes.
Yep, there you go. Anybody remember the what's the other thing with vinegar? Oh, a teaspoon of vinegar a day. Helps detox your body, vitamins, things like that, that your body somehow craves. A teaspoon a day. It may taste like horrible stuff, but you know what? Amazing home remedies, right? Just something simple. Here's one that I also like. Which backyard do you prefer? And it's a picture of 2 backyards. Now, I will say that about a year ago, when I was teaching this class at an office at First Team, an agent kind of liked this particular image. Which backyard do you prefer? And she was like, does that really work? And I said, you try it out. Do you have any listings? She's like, yeah, I got 2 different listings. Funny enough, one is in Huntington Beach. Another one is in, where was the other one? Santa Ana. And she goes, both yards are back, you know, to this property, or to these properties, are gorgeous. And I said, great, try it out. So what she did was she took an image editor, put the Santa Ana backyard picture, and then she took the Huntington Beach backyard picture. And then she just said the words, which backyard do you prefer? And posted it. Inside of a day, she had 225 views. More than half of those views liked or disliked the top or the bottom. Out of all those responses, within 2 weeks, she had both properties in escrow. So most of the questions that she was asked was, I love the top picture. Where's that at? Can I go see it? Other responses, I like the bottom picture. Can you tell me a little bit about more of the home? Can I go see the home? Can you show it to me? So something like that has a lot of impact. Why? This is how the message is received. How are you delivering it? Are you delivering it via text, writing? Or are you doing videos and pictures? 90% of information comes to us through our visual input, right? 70-40. People remember 70% more information and respond 40% better with visual stimuli, pictures and video. It's really weird because you would think, geez, I'm reading, I'm using my eyes to read. It's the comprehension. It's also a picture, at least, is all left to interpretation. And if your 1-word sentence or 2-word sentences about an opinion is there, this gets people to start thinking and start reacting. oops. Visual posts on social media increases engagement. So if you're not posting photos or videos, you're losing out on 170% more engagement. So come up with those types of little tidbits of information to engage. You don't have to be wordy. You don't have to explain a lot. You just put it up there and you just state fact, or you ask them for opinions. Now, are there any other parts of this plan? The answer is yes. We need to make and manage our time for Facebook and other social media. Okay. But honestly, not all postings are the same. Each and every platform is a little bit different, though they all kind of do the same thing. When people look at posts, when they don't look at posts are all different. Like one of the best times to post to Facebook, one of the worst times to post on Facebook, or put out a video or things like that. Usually the best time of the week or day of the week to post on Facebook between Thursday and Friday. So today or tomorrow. Why? Because people are preparing for their weekend. When's the worst time of the day to post? Between 12 and 8 a.m. Why? People are asleep, 90% of us. So, schedule. Once you decide on your posting schedule, book your calendar and stick with it. Real estate lives are all about schedules. Anybody here not schedule anything? Do you just fly by the seat of your pants? Or you try to remember every appointment? No. What do? You put it on your calendar. Why? Because you got so many things already on your plate. It's all part of your organization. Well, guess what? Social media posting should be no different. Now, here's the little tidbit about Facebook. Algorithmically, what a lot of people do when it comes to Facebook is that they spend time on Facebook. They think the longer I spend on Facebook, the more often my posts will be seen. And that's not the case. When it comes to Facebook, it's all about how many times a day throughout the day you go to Facebook, which will dictate how often your posts that when you do post are seen. So it shows engagement. Ideally, minimally 3 times a week. And actually, that's not enough. It's actually 3 times a day. Now, I know when you immediately hear 3 times a day, everybody all of a sudden starts to freak out, right? Oh gosh, Tony, I don't have enough time to spend 3 times a day, all day on Facebook. Not asking that. Remember, it's times hit, not time spent. Ideally, you should spend no more than 20 minutes in an entire day on Facebook. Because there's a lot of things that will get you hooked to stay there, like watching other people's videos or getting sucked into that video whirlpool. Anybody ever get that? Where you click on one video of like the cats and the dogs, and all of a sudden it immediately uploads another video and another video and another video. Exactly, Paul, the vortex. Before you know, you've spent 2 hours on Facebook, right? Here, though, because we wanted to use this for our marketing and we want to be short, sweet, because we've got other things that we need to do, 20 minutes a day. Now, how you're going to break that up? Maybe you spend 5 minutes in the morning. Then you spend 5 to 10 minutes in the afternoon. And then you spend 5 to 10 minutes maybe in the late evening or early evening. At least if you spend or do that 3 times a day, over a course of 7 days, you've hit Facebook 21 times minimally. Which now all your friends and your colleagues will see at least 4 out of every 5 posts. And that's their top algorithm. All you need to do in those 5 minutes a day, or that 5 minutes per time, at least go through your news feed, respond to a couple of your friends. Maybe you do actually post a little something like a good morning or what's happening in your real estate world or what you did. Maybe in the afternoon, hey, this is where I'm at. This is where we're having lunch. This is where, this is a great little restaurant, boutique, whatever in the neighborhood. You talk a little bit about it. You tag it. Maybe you take a nice little picture of something. And you finish out your day. Spent a great day with clients, looking at property, got an escrow closed. Hooray. It was a productive day, something like that. Now, if that's not enough and you need more things because we need something to talk about each and every day. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about some marketing success tips. Thursday and Friday between 1 and 3 are considered the best times to post on Facebook. So that's when you probably want to post on Facebook your open houses, whether they're virtual open houses or physical open houses. Businesses post on average 8 times a day. I'm only asking you at least 3 times on Facebook a day. But there are businesses that go on more often. And again, that's all part of their schedule. Throughout the day versus spending hours, we just talked about that. Images on your account account for 75 to 90% of all Facebook ad performance. So if you do decide to do a Facebook targeted ad, make sure you have some sort of picture or video as part of that ad. 47% of Facebook video ads happen in the first 3 seconds. So when someone clicks on that ad, in the first 3 seconds, they expect a video to pop up. Now, 26% of those Facebook users who clicked on an ad actually reported making a purchase from that ad. So if you're doing a targeted ad for a property you're listing, make sure that video of your property is in that ad. If you haven't made a video for a property before, we can discuss that in a one-on-one. So I can easily show you how easy it is to make a slideshow video in less than 3 minutes. Using platforms like iMovie or Movie Maker or what's the other one? WeVideo. All you need to do, put in your still shots, put them in whatever order, you write a couple of things, maybe you even narrate it, and then you add some duty-free non-copyright style music, which there are tons of sources out there for you to get that. All you can create, especially on your mobile devices nowadays, right? You can make a video about a property on your phone device in less than 2 minutes. So Sadaka, are you doing an open house this weekend?
No,
No?
I'm not. No.
Okay, do you have any?
I am doing other videos.
Okay, good. Kate, Loanne, Paul, Thomas, anybody doing open houses this weekend? The idea is if you are not in this weekend. Okay, Kate. If you are, make a video. Make a video. Or maybe if you're not doing an open house and maybe you're sitting down and you're just enjoying your wine at the end of the day. Anybody come back from vacation recently? Make a video from your vacation photos. Now, by the way, 1 in 5 Facebook videos are now Facebook Live videos. They're live broadcasts. People love seeing you be in the raw. Whether you're sitting in the car and you have something to talk about, maybe you just came out of a meeting, out of an office meeting, do a quick Facebook Live. By the way, 42% of consumer services respond to an inquiry of an ad within the first 60 minutes. So you post something on Facebook, make sure that you have the Facebook app downloaded on your phone and that app has a capability of sending you notifications. Now, if you don't know what a notification is, have you ever noticed that when you turn on your phone, these little things pop up like you got a text message or maybe somebody posted on Facebook or something? Those are all notifications. So if you do a targeted ad, this is a great way of following up on people's immediate responses to those ads or an immediate response to a post on your wall. That way, we can immediately go on, answer the question to the ad or answer a question to our post. And again, it's all about engaging. All right. Now, everybody will get a copy of today's presentations. And part of that is, here's a social media calendar, a 30-day calendar, what to talk about at least once a day. So who was it? Larry or Kate? You wanted to know what type of content to talk about? Here you go.
Is this going to be like a slide or just like
It's part of the PDF document. So it's a slide in my PDF presentation.
Oh. How can we download this?
You'll get it emailed to you.
Oh,
So you will get a copy of this.
okay.
Okay. Now, by the way, here's some other suggestions to build your brand, right? Some other topics, top 3 things to do to get your home ready for the market. How should you choose a listing agent? Maybe you have some advice on that, being an agent yourself, right? What is the most important what is most important in marketing a listing? Marketing a listing agent can provide. So maybe there's some marketing that you like to do that you have found successful to sell a home. And again, each and every one of you has something that's a little bit different. How to get the biggest bang for your buck. Top 5 reasons why such and such is a great community. Who pays for what in the escrow process, in the title process, in the lending process, or the buying process. Back to school tips. Hey, Halloween's coming up. Holidays are coming up. Talk about that. By the way, are there any questions so far on some of these topics?
I have a question. It's maybe not directly related, but there are paid advertisement for Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, but I don't know if there is any paid advertisement if we wanted to for YouTube. Does YouTube get any paid advertisement?
Yes.
I never came across that. How do we do that?
You'd have to contact Google or YouTube directly, but are you talking about, how you can pay for your ad to appear in somebody's videos, like a commercial?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anybody on YouTube advertising their restaurant or anything.
It's because not a lot of people do it. But if you're doing a video about your restaurant, that right there is your own advertisement.
Okay, so it's not really paid. It's what we make ourselves.
It can. There are companies. I mean, I get paid advertisements constantly from on YouTube while I'm watching a video, like a training video or pre-recorded video. And there will be
I see.
that come up in that video. But those are companies that actually pay YouTube to have their advertisement or their ad come up. It's no different than Facebook. Now, I don't know what the costs are. I think the costs are a little bit more expensive, but if you're trying to promote your own business, yes, you could pay YouTube to have your commercial put into other people's videos, or you just make your own video talking about your business and then you try to promote your YouTube channel to get people to go there organically, which again, if you're doing community videos and other things, or you're talking about these types of topics, you'll be amazed at that traction, which we're about to talk about now on YouTube.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, now that you're saying, it's in other people's like commercials, you see some other commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know those I do get, I see them.
Good. Yeah, those are paid advertisements that people are paying YouTube to do. You could do that. I don't think it's cheap, but you could do that. And I have seen that with some real estate groups. All right. Now, by the way, we do have an approach to video marketing. Okay. So it starts with our plan. Okay. Like part of our strategy, right? Like everything we do, we have the idea. The idea is I want to do videos for my marketing. But it's the plan that helps put that idea of video marketing into action. Okay. So we have to have a well-developed plan. Now I have a 4-part plan to make you put video into action because Sadaka, you said that you do videos, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Good. You're one of a few people that I know that actually do video. Kate, Loanne, Paul, Thomas, have you guys done videos yet? Nope. Okay, Thomas. Kate, excellent. Exactly normal, not a problem. Some on Instagram, good, not a problem, Paul. Good. You at least opened up the door. Awesome. So, Kate, Thomas, what stops you from doing video? And there's no judgment because it's probably the same excuse that I hear all the time. Have not tried it yet. Okay, well, that's a good one. You haven't tried it yet. Well, today, after today, you guys are going to try it, right, Tom or Thomas? Yeah, but I would probably fake it until I make it. That's okay. Everybody does. Everybody does. But at least I want you to, as an introvert, this is where we need to get you to come out of your shell just even for a little bit. Okay. Not sure what content to do. Well, Loanne, this is where we're going to talk about some of that content. Okay. Now, just so you know, part 1 of your plan. Okay. And I'm glad to see that nobody said, well, I don't like the way I look on camera. I don't like the way I sound. So that's usually the 2 big excuses that I hear from a lot of agents. I don't like the way I look and I don't like the way I sound. Now, unfortunately, this is how you look today. This is how you sound today. So would you tell a client, I'm sorry, I can't meet you at a property only because, just because I don't like the way I look or sound and I don't want you to judge me? No. If that was the case, you're in the wrong industry, right? You would never make money at real estate. So if you're not, you're not scared to meet a client at a property, then don't be scared about making a video. Okay. Now, real quickly here, part 1 of the plan, if I can get to that slide. Oh, did my computer freeze on me? There we go. I dislike it when things don't work. There we go. Part 1 of the plan. All right. Now it's thinking. All right. I guess I'm just going to have to exit presentation mode here. Part 1 of the plan. You got to dedicate some resources. Okay. You don't have to spend a lot of money at all. As a matter of fact, making videos for everybody here is the easiest DIY do-it-yourself product out there. As a matter of fact, it's one of the cheapest, cost-effective things that you guys can do. Okay. Now, other parts of your resources, you got to dedicate some time to record. You got to have a place to record, ideally either your office or your home, wherever is nice and quiet where you can focus. Okay. Now, nice thing about COVID is that we're all mostly from home, or some of us like myself are working from home. You got a nice quiet environment, but maybe the kids are at home nowadays. Now, maybe you call up your broker and say, hey, is anybody at the office? No, great. I like to go and do some video recording. Okay. Give yourself that nice focus. Now, equipment.
Anthony, what's hard when you're making video at home is the lighting. And also, if you don't want to show your home, it's kind of hard to pick a spot. I mean, I don't know how to avoid the background when I'm making a video.
Well, there are several things that we're going to talk about here in a second, like the video editing software. But before we talk about the equipment, or before I talk about the video editing software, because you'll notice here that I've got my background on. Well, I'm in my office. I've just Zoom allows me to have a virtual background that I can hide all that.
Yeah, I know how to do that one, but I don't know how to do it when I'm recording my own video.
Well, we'll talk about that here in a second. So equipment wise, minimally camera or mobile phone is good enough. Okay. Mobile phones nowadays, if you're an iPhone user, record in 10K, or I'm sorry, 4K video. Now, if you don't know what 4K video is, it's basically high definition, 4 times 1080p. Now, I know that probably went over everybody's head, right? Does anybody remember when 1080p was the rage about 5 years ago? Right? You were there at Costco, $3,000-$4,000 for a plasma screen TV that was displaying 1080p quality pictures. And what was really nice about it? The color was really clear. The picture was really clear. You actually got to see the makeup lines on actors and actresses, right? Now, today with 4K, not only can you see the makeup line, but how many of you have a 4K television? Probably a few of us, right? Especially if you bought a TV within the past 2 or 3 years. And what's one of the crazy things that you see? You see actual pores in people's noses, like the blackheads and everything. And no matter how much makeup they put on that actor and actresses, you still see all their defects, right? Well, they're talking about either later this year or next year or the year after that, coming up with 6 and 8K video. So picture quality is going to be even sharper, which I can only imagine now we're going to see the individual muscles under everybody's skin, right? Here, we don't need that. Our phone devices ultimately take 1080p 4K quality video. So you don't need to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars in buying or purchasing a high-end camera. You've got one in your hand. Now, I do suggest for audio, maybe you get a microphone of some sort. Now, let's talk about that. Microphone, and let me see if I have one here in my drawer. I can go to Amazon, get a nice little lavalier microphone that can plug into the bottom of my phone and have a wired microphone that I can kick on my lapel and have my phone record, and I have now clear audio. That's one. The other, anybody have the Bluetooth earpods? Well, guess what? They have a microphone here. So in my video recording, I can just have my earpods in my ear. And now I've got total clear audio when I make a video, whether it's about a property, whether it's a community video, or what have you. Or if you don't have one of those, anybody still have their wired headset that their phone came with? A couple of you, right? Well, on that wired headset, it's got a microphone. And again, it plugs directly into your phone. So that comes with my phone, so I don't have to spend any extra money to get good audio quality. Now, I do also recommend some sort of video editing software. I do believe Kate indicated that she was a Mac user. I'm also a Mac and a PC user. So I love iMovie. iMovie is free video editing software that comes with every Mac computer, phone device, or even tablet device. Full video editing software. Still shots, video editing, everything in that one little program that comes with your phone. You don't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars for it. Now, PC users, there's Movie Maker. Movie Maker is a free software for Mac, or I'm sorry, for Microsoft Windows that you can download and utilize. It doesn't have all the editing capability as iMovie, but it's enough to make a quick 2 to 3 minute video. Now, if you're an Android user, or maybe you've used Movie Maker before and you dislike it, or even as a Mac user, you want to try something a little bit more robust, then WeVideo. Now, WeVideo, there's no software to download. It is fully capable on the internet to access. So here, if I go to wevideo.com, from here, I can sign up for an account. Now, the account is really neat. But what I can do here real quickly, oops, let's go back. Let's go to their main website. Here, their pricing plan is pretty darn affordable. About $8 a month, about $100 a year. I can make 1080p or 4K video quality. I can make as many videos as I want, unlimited length videos. I just make that purchase. Now, what's really neat about this one is that when I go in, I can use still shots. I can upload videos, or I can actually, and let me see here if I can get to it. I can start a project. So here, unlimited projects, they can stay as long as I want. And in each project, what I can do, and let's go with one, and I want to start a new project. So here I can create a new one. Down below is my timeline, no different than any other, but I can now either import video that I've redone or I've done personally, or I can upload still shot photography, like the pictures of the property. From here, I can modify it, cut it, splice it, move it around. I can narrate the video. I can add in music, audio recording. So here it does have some duty-free auto music, or even better yet, maybe. And Sadaka, we talked about this a little bit. I can also record using my webcam, or just record my screen. So if I'm talking about maybe the market, or I want to show charts and graphs on my computer, I can do that, or I can do a mixture of both. So I'm like here in Zoom recording myself, but I'm also recording what's on my computer screen. And then based on that recording, I can cut, splice, shrink it, do whatever I need to. Does that make sense? And then at the end of the day,
are we talking about our computers, microphone and video?
yeah. Or if you're like me, you know, you spend on Amazon maybe a few dollars for a USB mic, or maybe my Mac computer's got a really good microphone and camera built in. I just use that. Or I upload my own videos. I'm now recording the video and we're talking. So here's my crazy office. I can now take that video, cut it, splice it, do whatever I need to with it. Maybe add in my backgrounds or do whatever I need to. And again, I would just add in things to take away my backgrounds. Or maybe, do you guys have Zoom?
Yes.
So in Zoom, in your settings, you can have a virtual background. So if you are in Zoom, you'll notice that next to your camera icon, there's a drop-down arrow. If you click on the drop-down arrow, you can choose a virtual background, right? Now, one virtual background that I always recommend to people, if you can see this screen, is a green background. So what you would do is you would select the green background, which will now take this and make it a green screen. Where now I can maybe sit off to the side of the camera, and then with a video editor like WeVideo, I can replace the green screen with a different photo. So let me see if I have one here. There we go. Something I did a while back that actually has that I did on Zoom, but I put a green background in Zoom. So now what I could do in my video editor is I can now replace that green with a different color picture or whatever to change my background. And it's a real fun thing to do. Does that make sense? Does that
Yeah.
help?
Well, we first need to download all those
There's
virtual backgrounds, right?
well,
Like-
you can make one and then download it. It's just a picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can take a picture and download it. You know, you can take a picture of, you know, your ocean view, right? And then make, you know, put it on your computer, and then in Zoom, say, you know, upload it as your virtual background and then choose that instead. So now it looks like you're on the beach when you're actually sitting in an office.
Yeah.
That help?
Yeah. I have a question about sending videos by email.
Mhm.
Everybody talks about BombBomb, but is there really need for something like BombBomb to send a video by email?
Nope. Using things like this or tools like this, you can easily make a video. And again, you know, my favorite one besides Video is iMovie, because I'm also a Mac user. So with these two products here, you know, at least with iMovie, if we're talking about cost, is free. So I can now record a video, do some minor edits, add in my front screen, my back screen of my contact information, because it's a picture that I made, and I put it in my Dropbox that my phone has access to. And now on my phone through iMovie, I can now make it, put it together, and then push it to my social media platforms. And then I can take that link, copy it, and put it in an email. Now, what makes BombBomb interesting is that for what you're doing for basically free, they'll charge you anywhere from what, $55 to $75 a month to have templates pre-put together, so it's easier. But you know, if you're only doing it once a month, is it worth your cost of return on investment to do it?
Yeah, I think what I'm asking, or where I'm getting confused, is instead of attaching the video to an email, I want the video appearing in the body of the email right up front.
You can do that depending on your email. You just take the link and put it into the email. And then actually you can make there are other websites that you can take a picture and embed the video link in the picture, right? So that way you take that picture, put it in the email, and then when they click on the picture in the email, it automatically plays the video.
So it works with a link rather than an insert command.
Exactly, which is what BombBomb does. So their templates insert the video in the actual body of the email. So they make it a little bit easier, but is it worth the cost? It's just a matter of how often you're using it.
Yeah.
I would say if you're not using it all that often, it may not be worth that price. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Part 2 of the plan real quickly here. Figure out what stories you want to tell. So when you're thinking about stories, and you hear that term a lot when it comes to video, especially Instagram, all it is you got to think about why you're doing the video, right? And that why is what audience are you wanting to connect with? And of course, you got to consider what audience you're trying to attract, right? Because like attracts like. So if you're talking about business or what have you, your mindset is, I want to try to attract business, or I'm trying to attract things. Again, some of us are positive, some of us are negative. We see positive in our business, we see negative in our business. Those are the types of people that we're going to be attracting when we do our videos. Now, the stories that you're creating, you got to think of how you're going to tell it. So as I had mentioned earlier, we got to think of fun, unique ways of being able to present that information to showcase who we are and why we're that trusted source. Now, part of this is also keeping your videos short but informative. Okay. So here's the key. Keep it short. You only want to give them small nuggets of information, no more than 2 to 3 minutes if possible. Okay. Why? People's attention spans are not that great nowadays. But what they want is information. But what we don't want to do is give them everything, right? We got to give that audience an excuse to want more from you. So my perfect example on this is fishing. Anybody familiar with knowing how to fish? Probably most everybody, right? You probably have gone fishing at some point in life, or you have known somebody that's gone fishing in their lives, right? Now, there are 2 ways of fishing. Way number 1, you take the bait, you dump it in the water, you expect fish to jump in your boat. Way number 2, we put a little bit of bait on a hook, which is connected to the line, which is connected to our fishing pole, and we throw that line and hook into the water, and we wait for one of the fish to grab it so we can pull them in. Even though there may be 100 fish in the water, we're just trying to grab that one, right? Where it's almost guaranteed. So in your mind, which is the better way to fish? Throwing the bait in the water and hope that somebody jumps in, or throwing out a little bit of bait and grabbing one? Anybody?
It's not rocket science, huh?
Not rocket science, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people go with top 5 things, top 10 things to do to list or sell a property. Well, guess what? We don't want to do that. Maybe we only want to give them 3 things instead of 4 or 5 or 10. We give them just enough to make them want more. So when we post that video, now all of a sudden they may communicate with us going, I did steps 1 through 3. What's the next step? Now, this is going to cause me to engage with them to say, okay, step number 4 is this. But for the other steps, your situation may require something a little bit different. Why don't you give me a call and we can talk about it? Now, what that shows is engagement, not only with this client, where now I'm baiting and hooking, but now the other people that see this say, oh, wow, Tony gave us step 4, but then you're right. Maybe there's something different that I'm now intrigued about. Maybe I will now give Tony a call to figure out the rest, or what else do I need to do? And maybe Tony can help me. So that's what our idea behind our short videos are. Give them just enough steps to make them want more. We don't need to tell them everything, right? We don't give away the cow when we can just give them a glass of milk. Now, also in your videos, in your video editing, never or avoid fading to black. Mentally, we begin to forget information and who gave us the information. It's really weird. Visually, when something goes to black, we all of a sudden start to forget things. Okay, it's just the way we are built. So what I would suggest is that every video end, or any video that you create, it should end with your contact information. Create a slide, whether it's PowerPoint, Canva, whatever. Make a slide that's got your face, your name, your first point of contact data, with the instructions or to give you a call or shoot you an email. And then add that in at the tail end of your video. Now, I also suggest putting it in the front, but make sure it's at the tail end. Okay. Again, first point of contact can be anywhere in the video, but we're now making sure that it's at least somewhere where people will hopefully see it, remember it, and it burns in their brains. And maybe you even talk about an upcoming event or give them something to do, a call to action. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Hey, by the way, stay tuned or subscribe for any other new videos that get posted. So that means that they've liked this video. Now maybe that gives them to move out, to like me, friend me, subscribe to my channel. All right, part 3 of the plan, we talk about scheduling. Okay, consistency is key. Now, if you don't if you do only one video, don't expect a lot in return. And the reason why I say that is I can't tell you how many times I've had agents go, well, video marketing doesn't work. When I ask them, okay, how many videos did you do? They tell me they only did one. When I go, well, when did you do that? 2 years ago. Well, no wonder it didn't work. Nobody knows that you had videos. Okay. You got to put yourself out there numerous times consistently before you actually start to see any results. I can speak from personal experience. Even though I've got 629 people or 20 some people as subscribers, I didn't start seeing results. I didn't have my first subscriber until after my third, fourth video. As a matter of fact, it was probably the 7th or 8th that I had at least 5 subscribers. I was super excited about that.
That's good.
So it happens to all of us. Now, here's a crazy statistic that I didn't talk about in the first class. You had, I gave the statistic that 70% of people go online before they start doing their buying, selling process, right? They go online, start looking for videos to start learning about the process, right? Where 80% of those 70% actually found an agent and went with that agent. Now, here's a surprising statistic. In the MLS alone, less than 12% of the listings in our MLS actually have a video about a property. So if you think about that, if people are wanting to look for videos about a product before actually buying a product, and we have an industry that less than 12% of the listings in the MLS database of 200,000 listings have a video, what are we as an industry not doing? We're not meeting the demands of the consumer. So if we're not meeting the demands of the consumer for our videos for our listings, does this mean that the consumers are not used to real estate agents actually having videos done at all? They're not. They think, geez, nobody in real estate does video. So they don't tend to actually look for those things. So this requires us to actually start doing numerous videos before people actually catch on. And obviously we have to promote that channel. Now, ideally, you guys should be doing videos once a week. Now, again, not to freak anybody out, I don't expect anybody to be able to do this right away, right? It's like working out. You can't expect to lift 250 pounds right out of the gate. You can't expect to run 15 miles if you've never jogged in your entire life, right? You got to build up to it. So this is what I'm asking you as real estate agents to do. Thomas, Kate, Sadaka, I'm not worried about you because you said you're doing them pretty consistently. Paul, starting to dabble in it. The only thing I'm going to ask you guys is this: do at least one video a month. One video a month for one whole year gives you at least 12 videos in your video library on YouTube. Month, that's all I have to ask you to do, and it's only 2 or 3 minutes long. You guys should be doing that immediately. Now, depending on the type of video, your video schedule will change because there are quarterly videos that you can do. There are monthly videos, weekly, and of course on the fly. On the fly meaning any opportunity that strikes you. Now, how do we get that? Oh, and part 4 of the plan, uploading and analytics. Be mindful where people need to view those videos or posts. So post on your YouTube channel, number 2, search engine, number 2, social media, put it to your personal website. So take that video link that is generated on YouTube and all right, real quickly here, because we're almost done for today. Uploading and analytics, be mindful where people need to view your posts. So post it to your YouTube channel, post it on your personal website. So that way people can find it. Don't forget about Facebook, right? Again, #1 social media platform out there. So put it to your business page, maybe boost the post if you have to reach a higher demographic. Now, more importantly, analyze and measure those video analytics, okay? How well is your video being received? How well is it doing? Are you getting likes? Are people actually viewing it? Now, why do you do this? It's because as you begin to see what people are liking, disliking, watching, this is now going to tailor what type of content you're going to put out and more of it, or the type. Funny enough, the videos that you record live on the fly actually get more views than a sit down, sit in front of the screen, read a script type of video, because people want to see you be genuine in your talking of your conversation or your topic. That's why it's funny to see when people are sitting in their cars, just randomly putting on a video, talking about their day, talking about an experience that they had at a restaurant or something. Those can actually get a lot more hits. Now, by the way, if a viewer shares your video, you can see that as well, which is great because that means that they're now liking your information and wanted to get it out there to other people so that they can see that you are that source. Now, if a viewer comments, definitely respond. Now, here's
Okay, your internet is really not good. It keeps going on and off.
the big part here.
Well,
The
we
types
lost
of
you for
videos
a
to
while.
record. Okay. Gotcha. Are you seeing things now?
Yeah, but you're like on and off. You're breaking up.
Gotcha. Well, I apologize for that. So real quickly, and again, I am recording this, so hopefully the recording is not shaky. Types of videos to make: about me videos or your intro video. Definitely that should be a must. Introduce yourself. Sit in front of your camera, talk 30 seconds about who you are. Listing videos are always important. You want to showcase the property, showcase what the property has, talk about it, things like that. Client testimonials are super important. So if you're closing escrow, ask your client the day that they close escrow, the day that you're handing them the keys, ask them to speak about what they thought about your services. Now, one usual common question I always get asked is, what happens if a client says something bad about you? Well, #1, do you use negativity in your marketing? Probably not, right? So this gives you an opportunity to hear what they have to say, and you can choose to use it or not if you don't want to. But let's take that negative and switch it into a positive. Say I'm a brand new agent. I actually didn't do a great job. Kate and her husband tells me I did a really bad job when I asked them to record the video. Tony, you didn't know what you were doing. We were really disappointed. We had high hopes. This was a really difficult process. We really wish that you had done a little bit better. Now, me being the type of person I am still going to put that video up. But I'm also going to do a video. My video is going to be an apology style video. Hey, Kate, Mr. Kate, thank you very much for your honesty. Thank you for letting me know how bad of a job I did. I really apologize. I did not mean for you to have that type of experience. And I really have no excuse, even as a new agent, but I'm going to make you this promise. If you ever give me a chance, or if you ever refer me any business, I'm going to make sure that I do my darndest to do better. Right? Because who doesn't want to do better in their business? And this is where negative responses are going to help you become better agents, because you're going to take what they say, and instead of trying to defend yourself as to why you didn't do something, which just means you're not trying to accept responsibility, it means that, hey, I'm going to take that critique and I'm going to get better from it as a business, as an agent. Which now all of a sudden my clients might actually see that and go, wow, Tony is really putting himself out there and saying this. Now, even their most hated enemy, they may send over to me just to see if I would give them the same level of service or actually do better. And if I do better, guess what? Maybe I might get that person back in a couple of years when they're ready to resell and buy up or buy down. Interview videos. Now you would think, geez, Tony, client testimonial videos are like interviews, right? No. Interview your title, your lender, your escrow personnel. Introduce them to your future clients. So Sudaka, you had said something about people wanting to know about lending and title and the escrow process. Well, guess what? Interview your title, your escrow, and your lender vendors. Not to mention, wait a minute, interview people in the community, businesses. You talked about advertising. Well, if you went to a local business and you said, hey, I'm a local agent. I want to get people to buy in this neighborhood because it's such a great neighborhood. I want to tell them about your what you have to offer here. What are they going to do? Are they going to like the free advertising? Heck yeah. Hi, I'm sitting with Jane Smith of Mediterranean Hotnam here on Alicia. Great food. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on? What kind of food you serve? Because I think it's really great. And then you let them talk. Local and community videos are always important because people want to know the type of environment they want to be able to move into. And again, this shows that you are involved in the community. This shows you know your area when you can talk about it. Market updates are always important. Special offers usually will come from those vendors like the restaurant, the dry cleaner that you interview. Hey, mention Tony's name and I'll take 5% off your bill. Excellent. Right? Now we're helping each other out in the community. Client process and update videos. Hi, Kate. Just want to give you a quick video. Just wanted to let you know, even though I sent you an email about your offer getting accepted, this is going to be the next process for the next 30, 45 days. Per the contract, you've got 17 days to do your inspections and review seller's documents for your contingency period. In that time, we've also got an extra 4 or 5 days for the loan and so on and so forth. Please, by all means, if you have any questions, let me know. Talk about the process. Clients, especially buyers, feel that the moment their offer gets accepted, the listing or their agent goes MIA, missing in action. This is a great opportunity for you to educate the client, to have them feel like their hands are being held through this entire process to get them their home or to sell that home. Maybe you also give them home buyer or home seller advice. Instructional videos. This is what you need to do to get your home listed. This is what you need to do in order to purchase a home. Do those instructional videos. Maybe you talk about the contracts a little bit. Maybe you also do videos about your office culture, right? Your office is going to be happy that you're promoting the brokerage. Your year-end review. You thank everybody that got you what you got today. Hey, I did 35 sales this year. I want to thank the following people for making this happen. And you name your clients. They're going to love it. But here's one that's really cool, a listing or a pre-listing video. If you're working with sellers, you give them a pre-listing packet or a listing packet, right? We'll do it, a video. Lots of people don't like paper nowadays. Well, this is a great way of getting rid of paper. You talk about that process. You do a screen recording of your presentation. Now, based on their videos here, that's going to dictate how often you're going to record these, right? Like your year in review videos, how often you're going to do that? Once a year. Your market update videos, that might be a monthly or a quarterly video, talking about the market, talking about the local areas and what's going on in those areas. Community information that could be weekly or monthly, depending on how often you like to walk around and market yourself to get clients. Client testimonials are as needed because not everybody here today is got an escrow going, right? Instructional videos, that definitely should be monthly. Knowing the types of videos that you're going to be making, this is going to help you plan out your schedule. Now, the final part of this entire game plan is the meet and greet. Can we all agree on that? The meet and greet. Once the connection has been established, it's now time to get that person offline and meet them in person. Now, I know this is kind of a challenge with COVID, but you know what? People still need to feel that person-to-person touch. Not literally, but face-to-face. They want to physically see the home. They want to get a feel for the home that they're buying or selling. Now, friendships are also solidified in this way. So if we're building that trustworthy relationship through this entire online process, now it's time to solidify that by meeting them in face-to-face. Because once you've actually met each other, and no matter what, this is still a face-to-face business. All the tech companies out there in the world can say, you know what, you don't need to have a real estate agent. They're going to go away. You know what? They said that about email. You know how long they've been saying that about email? More than 20 years. And yet we still use email today. What are they saying today? Real estate agents are going to go away. We're getting rid of real estate agents. Really? Then who's going to show me that home? Who's going to tell me the entire process? Who's going to help me explain, or who's going to explain to me what it is that I'm signing on this contract? You, the real estate agent. No matter what, this is still a face-to-face business. So the end goal of your game plan is this. You're going to try and make and form relationships. You're going to earn those connections, those trustworthy, being vulnerable relationships. You're going to get other people to like you, follow you, subscribe to you, and ultimately you're going to meet up and close the deal. Because of the day that we can close that deal, what do we end up getting as a reward? The commission. We get our payday. We've worked hard to earn these relationships. We're helping people buy and sell their homes. We're giving them great advice. We're telling them, hey, what are good communities based on our opinions and experiences of why that community that I'm marketing in is such a great place to go and live in. And the end result and the reward is not only do we have relationships, but we've now got a great client base that is going to help us thrive in our business. And our business being thriving ultimately gives us money, gives us a great living. Now, real quickly here, things to remember when it comes to video. You just can't make videos about anybody's property, okay? We do have regulations, both MLS regulations as well as code of ethics. MLS rules and regulations 12.8 states that you cannot make a video of another agent's listing without their permission, and actually specifically written permission. So if you're making a video of another agent's listing, you need to have it in writing prior to making that video. So no Facebook Lives at somebody else's property. Even if you work at the same company, always ask the agent, can I do a Facebook Live or a recorded video of the property when I do my open house or when I do that open house? Because if you say something incorrect, you have technically hindered that agent, that seller from selling their home. Not to mention, per the listing agreement, it states it in the listing agreement that the broker and the listing agent are the ones that are responsible for any and all media being marketed on that property, and that only that agent and that brokerage is allowed to market that home. Even though I work at the same brokerage, if I'm not the listing agent assigned to that listing, I should not be doing videos without getting it written permission from the listing agent. Now, code of ethically, it's also about perception. If I'm doing a video and I don't give the listing agent credit or the listing office credit, Not only is that an MLS violation, but this is also Code of Ethics, Article 12, minimally as a violation. Because I don't want to give the perception that I'm the listing agent when in actuality I'm not. So to avoid this, always get in writing from the listing broker or listing agent to get written permission to record at the property. And when you're recording the video, you've got to give the listing agent and the listing office full credit on top of talking about the entire property. Now, a lot of listing agents will not give you written permission to do a video independently of them. So don't do it. Just don't do it just because. With that said, I want to thank everybody here. Are there any questions on
I
this?
have a question, but it's not related to this topic. It's more general. We have partners of CRMLS like Realist
Mhm.
and infographics and all those other, nice tools that we have.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any webinars on those specifically like Realist, infographics?
You're talking about InfoSparks? Well, funny
Or
enough, yes, we do. We do have recorded webinars on those classes on Orange County Realtors' website. So if you go to ocrealtors.org, and from here, move your mouse to where it says education.
Yeah.
From here, click on video library.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have access to our entire video library. So we've got videos on zip forms, recorded webinars. So if we go to recorded webinars as an example, this is a list of all of our recorded webinars, one of which should be marketing or using InfoSparks to be the market expert is one of those. We do have Realist recorded videos under MLS, I do believe, plus a whole slew of others.
Under MLS, meaning not CRMLS website?
Well, this is all, well, we are part of CRMLS, so
Yeah.
we have videos
Like
that-
there's New Home Source.
New Home Source that go over that, yes. And CRMLS does have their own YouTube channel as well. But when they host a class at our board, we also do a recorded video of that, which we also post on our website.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Now about this market activity stuff, whether it's infographics or I forget the other one.
Past acts?
Yes. Are they running 1 month behind? Like if I do one in October, like today, is it going to give me end of September or
Yes.
end of August?
No, it'll give you September's information.
And how do I condense it to the last 6 months, for example? It gives me a CVS file. Is that how I do it? I just erase the months before the data and create a chart myself. 1 year is too long right now. And
Okay.
that's all it gives.
Okay. Well, that would be a question that we can talk about after class. But realistically, yes, you can narrow it down to a 1 year time frame, but depending on the charts and how you display the information, typically you can have, because you're comparing that's the month, or basically the month of September of 2021 to the month of September of 2020.
That's
So-
what I want to do, but it starts from the beginning of 2020, not September 2020,
Well-
it's January 2020.
I understand, but in order to show a percentage change, they do the year change, and there's no way to change that. Now you can display a 1 year change from January of this year to September, or I'm sorry, yeah, you can show a 1-year chart, which will go to January of this year to now. But as for displaying of the numbers, if you're doing a bar graph, it will always do, you know, September of 2021 to September of 2020. It won't show you anything else change in between.
Well, it doesn't let me change what it has, you know.
Well, then we can talk about that offline, Sadaka.
Okay.
So if you want, you can feel free to give me a call after class at 949-586-6800. And we can do an independent Zoom one-on-one after class, or feel free to email me at Tony, Tony at ocrealtors.org.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions? Well, if there are no other questions, I want to thank everybody for attending today. Sorry, we had a little internet hiccup there, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's classes. Hopefully this will send you on your way to creating better and great video marketing content and consistency. And with that said, I want to thank everybody for attending today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I hope you all have a great and wonderful day.